Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the chakra system and how that relates to storytelling. And so I made an earlier video on this when I did a quick run through of the Harry Potter books, and I related to the 7 books in the Harry Potter series to the 7 chakras. Now, the coincidence there wasn't just that there were 7 books. The idea here is the chakra system can be used in order to create new stories and to create stories that have new universes in them, as in world building. Like these authors like J.K. Rowling and C.S. Lewis and all those who came before, when they create these universes, they must be imagining that within their mind's eye. And I strongly believe that those creators, those who either whether they're born with it or they've worked on it, have a chakra system balanced to the point where the main focus is on the Ajna third eye chakra, then they become amazing creators and storytellers, and they're the ones who will, have experiences of different places and bring those stories back to us. And so why do these stories work? I think it's because they follow some sort of pattern that we all are attracted to, because we're all attracted to this truth, which is the chakra system. The chakra system leads us back to source. And so in the causal plane, if all of these chakras exist there, right, then the idea is the causal plane is there at the time of creation and affects everything's a causal plane, so everything else is an effect. So it causes everything to happen, everything else is an effect. So all creation is an effect of this causal plane. Meaning, if these stories really resonate, they really work, right? It's because all creation is coming from this point. The stories that lack, or the universes that lack one of these chakras, perhaps those are the ones that fail, because they're not fully developed worlds or fully developed characters. Right? So this is a way for when you're writing a story to have a quick run through. You have the chakra system, and make sure your character embodies this, or make sure your character goes through an arc that embodies the arc that one goes through in the chakra system. And so I'll touch upon that first. Before I start talking about the Jungle Book, I'll start talking about that inner journey that exists. So this is something that can exist among lifetimes. It can also exist within one lifetime and multiple times as well within a lifetime. Really, the chakra system and that cycle, the cycle is just the energy rising to the point of the crown chakra, and then ultimately, either going out and expanding, or then coming back down, receiving downloads, things like that. This is kind of an effect of the crown chakra opening up. Crown chakra also has to do with death and going on to new beginnings of the root chakra. So it's kind of the idea, once you pass on, and then that's the end of the root chakra. But people who have rebirths or things like that, the idea is that that's the crown chakra happening, where everything is wide open, you're having this rebirth, or these downloads are coming to you, and then all of a sudden you come back down. You grasp onto everything that you had in that experience, and then you pull it back down, try to process it in the brain, and the rest of the body will take some time to adjust. But this is kind of that sense, is a human will go through that. So the root chakra has to deal with set and setting. So in Mowgli's case, the story starts out with him and his panther family, where he's brought up, and it's kind of just giving you, hey, this is the set, this is the setting, this is his family, this is Mowgli. Mowgli is our central character. He is the crown chakra, he is the person, this is the body, is Mowgli. He is the main protagonist of this story. And what you will see is that the chakra system of him will just be filled with different characters that exist within the film. And that's kind of the sense of, if you look at the chakra system today, and that's why I made a video also talking about personifying the chakra system, is it's kind of in this sense, is Mowgli has an external, basically chakra system, like he is, oh, the word for it. Yeah, he is basically, you know, I'm missing the word. It's like when you're, it's so funny too, because the word that I'm missing is like when you're trying to like use a word to like encapsulate like a person, like embody. So basically, projection. Mowgli is projecting basically these chakras on different people within his life. And so that's kind of the same thing with the chakra system, is in our daily lives we can see and interact with people that we feel embody these certain chakra systems, or maybe that's where their energy is at. When people kind of talk about auras, that's really it. It's like, where is this person operating from? If it's a purple aura, they're operating from up here. You know, if it's a red one, they're operating from down here. The order of the chakra system goes in the same order of the rainbow, Roy G. Biv. Okay, so proceeding on with that, I talked about, so Mowgli has, this is Mowgli, and then you can basically imagine that these different characters are embodiments of those chakra systems. And so this is something that is good. As I talk about this, you can see that, you know, the stories of the Hindu deities, they're, everything about them and the way that they look and the depiction of them has to deal with, they are personified forms of energy. So if Ganesha has to do with the root chakra, that's why he's often perceived with a red among him, because the root chakra deals with red. So I'd start talking about the root chakra of the story. And the first character, though, that Mowgli meets when he's off to, you know, experience the rest of the jungle and see what it is that he wants to do outside of his family home, he comes across the elephants, and the elephants go and they're marching on the ground. The root chakra deals with the ground. So this entire, the beginning starts with the elephant song, which, you know, Ganesha also deals with the root chakra, but that's just kind of the ideas. This is just the setting, and Mowgli's trying to get his way around. He meets little elephant friend, but again, this is just setting, and just Mowgli's also just trying to survive in this scene, not get stomped on, because these elephants, right, you know, they are removers of all obstacles, just like Ganesha. Nothing will get in their path. That's kind of why elephants are associated in real life too with the root chakra. Okay, and then after that, Mowgli meets his brotherly bear, like his almost bigger brother, Baloo the bear. And in Hinduism and Tantra, Batak Bhairava is in the Swadhisthana chakra, so it's kind of another parallel there, Baloo the bear and Batak Bhairava. But this is someone who Mowgli sees as, you know, a brother figure, and he also personifies the Swadhisthana chakra. There's a scene where he's like scratching his back against a tree. The Swadhisthana chakra has to deal with touch and like, you know, just whatever feels good. And then you see him, you know, he's talking about the bare necessities, but he's overeating the fruit. And it's like clearly, oh, is that really the bare necessities, or are you just doing what you know, what feels good, what you enjoy? So yeah, and then they also have a scene where he's floating down a river as well. And the water and the movement and the dancing, everything he has to do deals with that Swadhisthana chakra. All right, moving on, the character in Mowgli's journey that deals with the solar plexus is the monkey in that scene. I'm sorry I don't know all the names of these characters. I didn't rewatch the film in order to make this video, so bear with me on that. But yeah, you have this beautiful orange monkey with this cool orange hairdo, and he is the one who wants to be like Mowgli, right? He's the battle between man and monster, because he wants nothing more than to be a man and to do what a man does, but he's still, you know, physically a monkey. But he really prides on the ego, which deals with the solar plexus as well, of Mowgli, by saying, oh, Mowgli, like, you know, you're human, you're so cool, I want to be like you, and all that. and they're all having fun. Even Baloo the bear starts having fun with it all, but ultimately they realize, this is not right. Like Mowgli needs to. They escape that after the monkeys start going crazy, revealing their true nature, that they're more monster than man in that scene. But yeah, then as it continues, we'll go on to the heart chakra, because Mowgli realizes, this place. Well, Mowgli doesn't realize this right away, that both the panther, who acts as his father figure, and the Baloo the bear, his brother, kind of come to terms, with, because of their love for Mowgli. To tell you is, what's best for you, Mowgli, is to be with the man cubs, and with the rest of mankind, and the jungle is no place for you. And so you have a few different people here that are acting in the heart here, but for the most part it's the panther, and also the young Indian girl that Mowgli meets, or sees at least at this point, is essential part of it, right? Like, is he going to choose between, he wants to choose between his family, and then he also has love that he's trying to pursue, and so he's conflicted at this point as to which side to take. And then Baloo the bear is kind of the guy, like, oh no, I want you to be here, but he knows what's best for Mowgli is, for him to go off. And it's almost a depressive form of love for him to be like, it's, even though you're gone, it'll be fine. Like, it's what's best for you, and he wants what's best for Mowgli. Cool. And then preceding that, Mowgli kind of runs away, because at this point, he has to face the truth on his own. And always this character in these stories must come and face the truth on their own. And at this point, oftentimes the characters will, be manipulated. There'll be like a sweet siren song that, tries to pull them in a direction as they're trying to, face the truth on their own. They have to face their own inner demons and everything like that. So the snake comes, and, as I'm looking right now, Shiva has the snake trapped around his neck, or Bhairava as well. Bhairava is associated with the throat chakra. But that's the character that kind of embodies the neck, because he is the character that is trying to twist Mowgli's truth and trying to almost hypnotize him. And he's so close to about to strike him with his venom, strike him with his poison, right? But ultimately, Mowgli is able to snap out of it and get out of it, right? And continue on his path, pursuing the truth. He comes across these vulture characters that, kind of just, a good comic relief, but they don't really know what's going on too. Like, it's close to the end of it, and they're just kind of like, well, what should we do? Like, we don't know what else there is to do. They're just kind of talking like that. And honestly, this can kind of deal with the third eye, with intuition. In a sense, birds are very keen animals, and the sense of almost thoughtlessness, like they don't know what to do. That's kind of what they're talking about in that scene. Kind of shows, maybe these are characters that kind of lack the full, prefrontal cortex. But really, Shere Kahn, this is a character now that the third eye and the crown chakra really, this character can kind of flip-flop between the two, because you can see Shere Kahn as being, the intellect, the mind behind it. He's the king, and tigers have that intuition. They're hunters, and he could also, though, he's fighting for the crown, even though he's this intuition character. That's why I'm saying it can flip-flop, because right now he's trying to fight for the crown. He wants to be the king of the jungle, but Mowgli is the man, and he also, is fighting. He realizes that he can't be around, that this tiger is way too dangerous for, if he wants to protect the ones he loves, and if he even wants to, be part of mankind, he's going to have to face his, in a sense, inner demon of Shere Kahn. And yeah, so they ultimately clash it out, the battle for the crown of man and beast, and all of those that have come before. His previous allies come to assist him, both, the vultures, the Baloo the bear, and the panther all comes and helps him in the end. but at the end too, he uses his brain, he uses the ability of man, and he rises above monster. He shows that he has the crown by using fire, using something that, you know, the one weakness that Shao Kahn has, using his intellect, knowing that this is what Shao Kahn can't fight against, and that's what he is able to use to get the upper hand in battle and save everyone. And so yeah, that is something that happens in a lot of different stories. Like, as I'm talking about the crown chakra and all that those came before will help him in this battle to fight, you know, against, you know, Shao Kahn, who could be seen as his inner demon, or, you know, his past life in a sense. Like, tiger is an animal that you know, can reincarnate to human, and it's a idea of battle between man and beast in that case. But yeah, this could apply to several different stories, and the one I was thinking of, the most recent Star Wars, when Rey is there at the end fighting Palpatine. She uses like the power from all of those that have come before. She hears the voices of all the previous Force users to defeat him, and that's just kind of the idea. Is, you know, that is what happens in the crown. Everything that you've used to basically go and fight that final battle before that eventual return home. Because again, what happens after this story ends, after the crown chakra, the culmination, well, there's either, is this the end, or is there a sequel for Mowgli, and then there's a Jungle Book 2, and that's where we'll start back again in the root chakra, but we'll have to establish what's the new setting, what does everything look like, you know, introduce the characters, but not the necessary character development that doesn't come to Swadhisthana chakra. And so yeah, this is just what I'm trying to share. This is my gift, is that I hope that since I've seen my personal story, I had an awakening experience back in October, and it was actually, I was doing Patak Bhairava sadhana at the time, where I had a glimpse into the causal plane, just meaning like within my third eye, like I was completely seeing how the causal plane was operating, and the chakra systems and different things with, I was seeing like the dances that exist on the causal plane as well. But it was kind of like that, where it was an experience where it was up into the crown chakra, like I previously explained, and there's this wealth of information that you just access. But then it comes down to a point where it all compresses back down, and hey, you know, at the end of the day, chop wood, carry water, you have a life that you need to carry on with. You have this information now, you know, use it to the best of your knowledge. And so right now I just want to, you know, be able to share it with people. And yeah, one last thing before I end today's video. I just feel like sharing, because I talked a bit about awakening experience. I just wanted to share really quickly the trip that I had, and I went to Nepal back in was April of last year. And the reason why I want to talk about that and focus on that is because right now I'm doing I'm in Dhumavati month of sadhana. She's one of the 10 Mahavidyas, and that's the depressive form of love. So if I'm coming off a certain way, a bit depressed or anything, I can assure you that's the reason why. But yeah, there was a part of that trip where in the last day, there was a trek that we did, and the whole thing, before I went on the trip, I didn't even know, like I didn't even look at the itinerary. That's the kind of person I am. I don't care. I'll just go to a place. And that's the only place that was the first place I've been to outside of the country. But yeah, I went there, and the night before, we were all having dinner, and on the itinerary it said that we were going to the Kali temple. And I read that like a week before the trip, and I was like, no way, like I'm so excited for it. But before we were all about to go to bed, the tour guide came up and said, hey, you guys all ready to go see the Buddhist temple tomorrow? But didn't mention the Kali one. And so I was like, I didn't say anything because I was too tired at the time from, this was 3 days of hiking. We're on to the 4th, come the next day, and just like 8 hours of hiking every day. And I've never done that before, so my legs are completely beat. I'm exhausted. But that night, I go to sleep, and mind you, I'm in a ton of pain. I'm like sunburned head to toe. I can't even turn or anything. But all that's running through my mind is, are we going to this Kali temple? Are we going to this, like, and I'm just thinking of Kali the entire time and like chanting one of her mantras as I'm just trying to sleep. But like I feel a presence in their room like the entire time. So like even though I'm in so much pain, it's like I feel safe. Like I feel like, oh, you're right where you're supposed to be. Everything is fine. And I'm like, okay. And so the next morning, some people were going to wake up for the sunset, but I was in so much pain, like I couldn't even move. So I just kind of like roll out of bed. I opened up the blinds that were there. And when I did that, I saw the, shoot, I don't have my phone with me. If I had my phone, I'm recording off my phone. If I had my phone, I would show the pictures, but I'll do this again all in another video, so I can do that. I took a picture of the sunset, and it was in the shape of an eye. And it was bizarre, because in my pocket, I was carrying with me the whole time, is this Eye of Shiva stone. And it looks like a teardrop almost. And I hold it up, it's the same thing. And I took a picture, I'm like, this is crazy. And it was weird too, because there was a crack on the Eye of Shiva stone. I didn't know where that came from. It must have happened while I was on the trip. And I'm just like, this is weird. But like I hold it up, that's the weird part, is there was a cloud that was covering the sun, like exactly where that crack was, like that chip was. And I'm like, that's even weirder, like a pupil. And so we carry on with our day, and we're walking around, we do end up going to the Kali temple. But as we're doing that, there first is this temple where there's this older woman who's chanting in there, and like she comes out walking out of the temple, and she's holding a flower, and she's like kind of shaking, and like the people in my group like walked away from her because like she was like older, and like I don't know, they were almost like scared of her or something. And I was like, okay. And so I walked forward, and she just wanted to give us a flower, and so I took the flower with me. And so I had the intuition already that I was going to give this Eye of Shiva stone to this places at the Kali temple. And then I was given the flower, and I was like, perfect, I can take this for her too. I didn't know what it was she was telling me. She was telling me something, but I only speak English. And yeah, so I went and I walked and carried it to the temple. And I left both of them there. I rung the bell. And then as soon as I did that, we started walking. There was another temple to go to that was a continuation of the Kali temple. And as soon as I did that, it was wild. Like we were at this part that was called like the 1,000-step path or something like that. And mind you, like everyone in my group was like, oh my gosh, stairs. Like we already had to deal with so many stairs on this trip, because like when you're hiking out there, like there's a ton of stairs on the paths we were on. And so yeah, mind you, my legs in pain from the whole last day. I couldn't even get up in the morning to see the sunset. I was hobbling up for breakfast, and I was like just like limping around. I'm completely sunburned. And all of a sudden, after I visit that temple, everything vanishes. I'm not kidding you. Like I start like walking up the stairs, and I realize like I start stretching my legs out more, and I'm realizing I'm like, if I walk like this, like all the pain starts to vanish, and before you know it, the pain in my leg is just, all of it's gone. I start running up the stairs, and the people in my group are probably like, how the hell do you have so much energy today? Like this is the last day. I don't know. It was weird. Like the day before, I was in so much pain, and as soon as I visited the temple, all the pain gone, and I'm like, wow, incredible. So yeah, I just wanted to share that story because that was something that was very special to me, and it was 6 months after that experience that I had this awakening experience, and it all kind of had to deal with Kali. And so that's really the reason, the purpose why I'm sharing these things. Because I feel really happy, like with what I know and everything, but I want to share with others and spread messages of positivity to help raise the public consciousness and raise the vibration of Earth here, so things can be more enjoyable, and we can have a fun time, and there can be less wars and fighting. And that's all. Thank you all for watching. Jai Mahakal.